Hi everybody, I'm Bree the Plant Lady coming to you from the JCRA Arboretum in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm going to show you more sections of the Arboretum. Some are full sun, some are full shade, so that we can round out this week of inspiring garden tours. If you've never been able to visit the Ralston, I do hope that you will put it on your must-visit list. This is an incredible free public garden, open 7 days a week, right here on the edge of NC State's campus. Well, I'm standing here at a plant that I covet, and I believe this is Tacoma. I don't see a label, but I want it. And I've been wanting it, and I've been trying to find it at garden centers unsuccessfully, but it's on my wish list. And then I love this yellow flowered Gaillardia. This is a great native flower for North Carolina, and I don't have any of it. And look at all the bee activity. It is such a cool plant. This flowers almost 12 months out of the year. And it's called blanket flower for a reason, because it literally carpets or blankets the ground. I've always loved this walk, and it's a lot of really cool plants in here that are blooming at different times of the year. You can see there's some camellias in flower there, and I used to gather a lot of cuttings from this section of the Arboretum, so that's really why I sort of gravitate over here. They have really cool Calicarpa. Here's Calicarpa Americana Berries and Cream, which is kind of a interesting native beauty berry, and well, it's just a very peaceful area. One thing I appreciate so much about the Arboretum is how they're constantly renovating, and this is an area that's clearly just been replanted. There's a lot of really cool things in here. Look at that rhodia. Taladin. That's really awesome variegation. I don't remember what was here before, but I really like this Elysium lanceolatum tree formed. I actually think that they probably just limbed this up and freed up all this ground space. I'll have to ask Tim. Ordinarily, I am touring with Tim here at the Arboretum, but this weekend, he is actually in the North Carolina mountains, helping with one of his friends rebuild their nursery after the Hurricane Helene flood. I'm of course here today because I was giving a talk. So I feel a little lost walking around the garden without my buddy Tim. Well, hopefully you watched my recent container garden tour where I showed you my containerized specimen of sage, quote, Jenks Farmer. And here is what I was talking about, this gigantic stand planted here at the Arboretum. And you know, it has some dieback, but it's huge and healthy, and it's really the most substantial culinary sage that we can grow here in central North Carolina. Now, with that, it's a plant that I covet deeply, although I see all the old branches and it makes me not want it in my own garden. But this is Araucaria araucariana. This is the one monkey puzzle that seems to live here. I love monkey puzzles. I've killed quite a few. I've certainly tried growing them. If you look, you can see they're enormous cones up there. And they aren't really the best for heat tolerance, especially humidity tolerance. But this one is quite happy. But instead of trying to bring one home to my house, I'm just gonna enjoy this specimen here. Well, this is a really cool plant called summer wisteria. It's botanically known as Milletia. And it's a really nice kind of shade tolerant ground cover that flowers through the summer season. It's obviously still blooming right now. It's an Asian native that spreads without question, but if you have like a dry hillside, this is a really good option. Well, I'm inside the Lath House, which is just a treasure trove of cool, awesome plants, including, of course, my favorites, camellias, but also tons of ferns and begonias and other syningias that I definitely covet. And, you know, Daphne, which I have no confidence in growing, but boy, they sure make it look easy here. The great thing with the lath house is these are all raised beds, and it's all soilless substrate. So it's really well drained. It's really kind of made particularly for this type of plant material. So this is not like sticking it in hard pan clay in your yard. This is cultivated specifically for the plants that are growing here. And one of my favorites that I'm never even going to bother trying to grow is this beautiful Daphne odora hue reb. Rebecca is its trademark name. So the Rosalia isn't quite in bloom yet, but it's coming soon. You can see all the flower buds that are formed, and this has beautiful red flowers, generally through late fall into early winter. And I do have a Rosalia at home to plant, just haven't gotten the bed built. It's a really cool broadleaf evergreen that's relatively unknown, a really terrific plant. I definitely need to up my game on Tricetris. There are a lot of species of Tricetris that I don't have that I need. You can see so many flowers and so many bees, and all kinds of different species of bees are visiting this. This is one called Fluffy Orchid. I think it's a hybrid Tricetris. It's showing some drought stress, but you can kind of overlook that, and you get so many blooms. And as I exit the lath house and come into the Japanese garden, favorite thing in here absolutely has to be this fabulous crepe myrtle. It's so peaceful and really shows you what crepe myrtles can do. Of course, they have wonderful Japanese maples in here, and they've done a great job pruning those. Nice Zen garden. One of my favorite Japanese maples is Ryusen, which is this weeping beast over here. I don't actually have it in my collection. I gave mine to David Sabio because he does a better job growing Japanese maples than I do. One plant that I forgot to put into my fragrance talk, but is in my Woody Winter Wonderland, is Mahonia. And this is Mahonia eurybracteata. You see it's already starting to flower. This is probably soft caress. Yes, it is. And this is a great drought-tolerant, shade-loving, deer-resistant evergreen. Well, entering Asian Valley, this is another section that I used to gather a lot of plant material from when I worked at Camellia Forest. You know, the first thing you see, Edgeworthia, giant stands of Aspidistra, other Mahonias, lots of Akuba, and then really great large overstory trees that are part of the original Arboretum collection. It's just so peaceful, shady, and oh wow, there's another wedding set up over here. I am so excited that people are utilizing the Arboretum for these special occasions. Now, one of my favorite plants that I still don't have is this Carex scaraposa, and it always looks good. And I love the broad leaf and the pink flowers. It's definitely something I'm trying to buy. Hoffman is always sold out. Well, everybody, I hope that you've enjoyed my mid-October visit to the Ralston Arboretum And again, I would love to encourage you to visit. It's nothing beats seeing everything in person. They have their Moonlight in the Garden coming up through November. There are tickets available, and it's a whole different way to see the garden. They have it lit entirely with awesome landscape lighting. They have food trucks and marshmallow cooking and all kinds of cool stuff. It's a really extraordinary experience and a wonderful garden any time of the year, any time of the day. But as always, thanks so much for watching, and happy gardening.